Did you see that?
What the hell?
Oh, I coughed it out. A gnat flew in my mouth, and I breathed it in, and I literally just coughed it out. I wonder if the camera caught that.
What? What the fuck?
A gnat flew, like, hit my uvula. You know that? You know, is that what that's called, that dangly thing?
The uvula.
Your uvula. I think it's a uvula. But I'm pretty sure, like...
Your face. I can't wait for you to go back and look at that.
I literally, like, it's like it just, like, bungeed off of my uvula, and then I literally coughed it back out. Okay. You know what I thought today, which is actually so sad, and I thought it up until just now. Like, just now, seeing it on my computer. What? Oh, Hutch is back from burying his bone. Hutch, your feet. Oh my God. He has mud all over his paws. Stop walking around. Hutch, sit. Please sit down. Please sit down. He is literally...
Why don't you go handle that?
Hold on. Let me fix this. Hutch, come here.
Now Murphy's coming in. Sit. Good girl.
There's no fixing it. I'm gonna have to get it back. I know what I'm doing after we're done recording. I'm gonna bathe my dog. He literally just came in so proud. Like, I buried my bone. Look at my dirty paws. Oh, it was actually, I'm not being dramatic. Like, you should see his feet.
We love our children.
I just looked at the date. I thought today was Thursday all day until now. And I am so sad to find that is Wednesday.
Yeah, girl, you got 2 more days.
That really just took every bit of wind out of my sails. What a bummer. It's not almost the weekend. Ew. Who made up the date?
At least it's not Monday.
At least it's not Monday. But then it will be sad.
This is true. Do you have anything planned for the weekend?
Yeah, we have another busy weekend. What are we doing Friday? Oh my gosh, I'm actually sad you're not going to be here for this. We are going to see Disco Lines, Fisher, and Louis the Child Friday night.
Oh, fun. Great lineup.
Yeah. It's called Breakaway. So I'm dragging Connor to go with me to that. I've got my outfit picked out. I'm going to look so cute. It's so funny. Because I don't know if Brie and Chris are going to come with us yet. And, you know, Brie, like, she's like, if I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna rave baby it up and just, like, you know, do the super cute, like, rave baby outfit. And I'm like, here's my little linen set with my little linen skirt. And
you're not really much of
sneaks.
A rave.
No. And I was like, and it's backless. Like, it's got a little sexy to it. And she was like, gee, this is not what people wear to raves. And I'm like, well, this is what I'm comfortable in. And it's linen. It's going to be hot. So we're doing that. And then we're seeing Kip, our grandpa. It's for anyone that doesn't know. Our grandpa's birthday's tomorrow. So we are celebrating.
Oh, thank you for
him.
reminding me.
Yes, he turned 72. It's in my calendar. So make sure you call him. But we're going to do dinner with him and Mom and Dad. I'm going to make his cake on Saturday. But yeah, so that's what we've got going on this weekend. I'm looking forward to it. What about you?
Okay. Joey and I were just talking about this because normally if you would ask me at the beginning of the week, oh yeah, nothing planned, good. And then all of a sudden, boom, plans. Plans Friday night. I have plans Saturday morning. I have plans Saturday evening. And Sunday is for God. She needs her own day. I'm not doing anything with God. By God, I mean me. I need to chill the fuck out. So it's just plans, doing charity work. I have a birthday thing, doing dinner with some of my best friends. I have another friend, my friend Belinda, is very mommy. She has a toddler, and sometimes she just needs to go out and do adult things. She lives 6 minutes away. Sometimes she'll be like, hey, what are you doing today for lunch? Not a problem. Popping over for an hour. Even though I don't have plans, I'm fine dropping everything to do for her because she needs adult time. I love you. I've been friends with you for 10 years. Let me give you some adult time. I'm hanging out with my boyfriend's friends who I absolutely love and adore. So, yeah.
You're booked and busy.
3 days ago I had nothing, and now she's booked and busy. It's really difficult being popular.
Yeah, it's really hard to be liked so much. I'm like, stop asking me to hang out. all the time. I'm just kidding. No, that'd be nice. What are you doing for your charitable work?
My best friend Tyler has this charity called Handle with Care, where we make care packages for the unhoused in West Hollywood. So it's very local. And the bags are filled with a lot of things that they actually need, like socks, the different types of sustainable foods, hygiene kits, that kind of thing. So a lot of times we work with shelters and stuff like that. And we make sometimes 200 bags, and it's this assembly line. It's really cool. So they do it once a month. So I always try to go to support. And it's my best friend. I want to be there for him.
Yeah,
and something that's so
absolutely.
important for him.
How, so the peeps know if anyone's in LA, how can they get involved?
They usually post a lot on their Instagram. That's where they deliver a lot of information. They usually do it about the same time every month. So if anyone's in Los Angeles and you would like to volunteer, feel free to DM me, or, I can put a link in the comments to the charity, and you should get involved. It's a great group of people.
I love that. No, he's been doing that for a long time.
Yeah, it's been quite a while, and they've gotten the
Yeah.
city involved. They've been given a lot of recognition by the city of Los Angeles. So yeah, it's a really great org.
That's great. Well, that'll be nice.
Yeah, it's just one of
Give
the few
back.
that I work with regularly.
Yeah, I love that. Well, well, that made me feel kind of crummy about what I'm doing. I am not giving back to the community in any way. I'm
There's still
giving-
time. Maybe next weekend.
Maybe next weekend. I'm giving Raymond James Stadium the honor of my presence. So.
It's good to stand for something. I mean, you're literally going to be standing.
I am going to be standing. I'm going to be living right here. Oh my gosh. You want to hear something so funny? So Connor bet me. I was watching this show. I can't remember what it was called. Cat's Eye on Netflix. Have you heard of it? Okay. It's about them making like a K-pop group here in the US, like an all-girl group. And like K-pop is like all about having star dancers, star vocals. It's hard. So it's a competition show. And I binged it so hard one day while Connor was playing softball all day. And he came home and I was like, I could do this. If I practiced hard enough, I could dance like this. The reaction I got from that man, because y'all, I have no rhythm. I can't dance at all. So Connor bet me, if you can learn one of these dances and you can do it well, he's like, I don't expect much, but if you can do it well and you put time into it and you learn the dance, he was like, I will get you whatever designer bag that you want at a capped budget, but I'll get you whatever you want. For the first 2 weeks, I took that shit so fucking seriously. I know like the whole first leg to like a Tate McRae dance, and Erica came over and like literally practiced with me for 2 hours, and we moved everything around in the living room, and then I gave up on it.
It's good to see your K-pop career is really taking off.
Yeah, but like watching them, it was like so impressive. I highly recommend if you guys like shows like that. I got so hooked. If you were a dancer or if you were a thespian back in high school, highly recommend. I was sitting on my couch trying to learn the steps to these dances, and it was very entertaining. But I need everyone to know that I will not be getting a designer bag from my husband because I didn't continue. But ooh, me on Friday.
And a 1 and a 2 and a 5, 6, 7, 8.
Erica couldn't even teach me by counting because my brain like couldn't keep up with like my brain couldn't keep up with like the counting of the rhythm. She was like, just watch.
Just watch. You're doing amazing, sweetie.
You're a good dancer though.
I don't know if I would say good, but I have rhythm.
Yeah, I would say that as well. You do have good rhythm.
I did lip syncing competitions and stuff like that. Like
You did?
for campus and stuff. Yeah, I would choreograph a bunch of like we did stuff for homecoming. And like there were these big competitions and stuff that these organizations would do. We'd put together these routines and stuff like that. Yeah. I'm sure there's some video somewhere.
I'm gonna need to see those now. Was YouTube a thing when you were in college? Yeah.
I think it was more like Vine. I think Vine. Yeah, no, YouTube was around, but I think everybody was like digging the Vine. That ages
I
me.
miss Vine. Oh my God, I miss Vine so much. Sometimes I'll just look up on YouTube, like Vine. What is that word? It starts with a C. Like when you mix a bunch of stuff together. It's on, like, always in pornos. It's always like blowjob. Do you know what I'm saying? What word I'm thinking of?
Absolutely not. I have no clue where you're
Compilation.
We're talking COM?
Compilation. Oh, that's funny. Compilation.
Y'all, she just got that. I literally spelled it for you. Sweet
Vine,
Jesus of the manger.
Vine compilation. Compilations.
Okay. So
Anyway. But yeah, look those up on YouTube. They're fun. Okay. Wait, I meant to tell you this morning, and I meant to text you because you've been with me in these moments. I got, not verbally, but like eviscerated by a middle schooler this morning with his hands. Do you want to hear what happened? I'll tell you what happened.
yes, because that sounds violating.
No, that actually sounds crazy. I was in my car. He was outside of my car. I didn't set that up great. You know how my car just turns on its brights when it feels like it, when it thinks it's too dark?
Yes.
Okay, so every morning I leave at the time that the middle schoolers are waiting for their bus. And every single morning, my car shines its brights right into these kids' eyes. Every single morning. I don't know how to turn it off. Like, I don't know what to do. And if
sent
anybody,
it to you.
I tried it. It
ChatGPT'd
did not
for you.
work. I can assure you this. It did not work. I tried. If anybody owns a 2025 Acura MDX, please tell me how to turn this feature off because it drives me absolutely crazy. And I literally have been thinking about this all day because it hurt my feelings so bad. So I was driving past this group of middle schoolers, and I always see this one. He kind of scares me a little. And I drove past him, and my car just went like right in his eyes. And he literally just goes to my car and just gave me the big finger with the elbow, which I think means maybe something worse than just getting flicked off. Flicked off. I haven't stopped thinking about all day. I'm just like, I'm so sorry. Because I truly do that to him every morning, but my car does it. And I don't know how to turn it off.
Middle schoolers are so hard.
They are hard. They are so mean. And like, I have been butthurt all day about this.
Also, have you bothered reading your owner's manual to see if it's in there?
No. Who reads an owner's manual? Who? That's a boy thing.
I have looked at the owner manual
that's
of my car.
It's a boy thing. That's totally a boy thing. I don't know one girl that's like, let me go look at the owner manual.
Y'all tell me. Sound off in the comments. I'd love to know the polling on this.
Yeah, it's gonna be a bunch of boys that are like, yeah, I look at the owner's manual to figure things out. No, I want it just to be. I should just be able. That should be a button. Like I should just be able to turn that off. I shouldn't have to like hold something down for 60 seconds, spin around twice, and do a rain dance in order to turn my fucking brights off. Am I wrong?
I mean, no, I don't think you should have to jump through hoops just to turn off your brights.
Things should be intuitive. Like, and also, no car should just decide it wants to turn its brights on. You're not a human. I decide. Me. Because now I'm getting flipped off by middle schoolers at 6 a.m.
Cars should not have free will. That's not your design.
Exactly. Like, I will turn my brights on if I want them to. And it's also just hard because sometimes, like, our neighborhood's dark. All the poor people, their homes, like, my car is just shining right in there. And I can't do anything about it.
Okay, can we talk about something? I just want to get right to it. That is kind of going viral and kind of surprising me. It's now just like on my feed is Steve Irwin, rest in peace. His son, Robert Irwin, who is, I think, 21 years old now, but he's going viral.
21? Does that make you feel
People
so
grow
old?
up. No. 21. And he's going viral because he just did this whole like photo shoot thing where he's in his underwear with animals all over him. Like there's this one where he's just in his underwear and he's like, and there's a snake draped around him. He has 7.4 million followers on Instagram.
Wait, let me
and
look
he's
this
got,
up.
And I think like half his photos are him without clothes, like underwear or shirtless, not naked.
Look at this photo, guys. Oh my god! I feel weird looking at it.
I was like, I'm 41 years old. I'm old enough to be daddy.
Rob. Oh my gosh, he is a grown man now.
He is. You want to talk about what's making kids gay? Shit like that is making kids gay. It ain't stuff in the water or whatever these people want to say. It's not books in school. You know what made me gay? The underwear aisles at Kohl's. That shit will make you gay. Real talk.
Oh.
Anywho, so he's just like becoming this it guy. He just got casted for Dancing with the Stars, like he was the first one they announced. And the thing that like also was in my head is like Dylan Efron was the it guy just several weeks ago because of Traitors. He's everywhere. He's getting on talk shows. He's hot as fuck. He's Zac Efron's brother, and he's like making his own way in the world. And he was on a lot with Gabby Windley, who is also becoming this it girl. And so I'm like, are we fading out?
Okay, I didn't know Zac Efron had a brother until Traitors. Like, I did not know who this person was. I didn't. But, not okay, Robert Irwin coming in hot. Literally coming in hot. I didn't even know. Yeah, I guess the last video I saw of Robert Irwin was him on, like, Jimmy Fallon. And he was, like, 15, and he's, like, bringing out his chinchillas and shit. And he was just like, oh, they're so cute. Like, I just see him as, like, a teenager. So the fact that he's kind of like, I know that he's kind of had his own career, obviously. He's followed in his dad's footsteps, but oh my gosh, Steve, I wonder what Steve's thinking. What's Steve think about his son's media presence?
At least the animals are getting a moment.
The animals are getting a moment. He's probably going to do really well on Dancing with the Stars. So do we know who his partner is yet?
I'm not sure, but Joey will know. He loves that show.
Yeah, it's a good show. I like Dancing with the Stars. If I don't see Robert come out in Britney Spears' outfit with the python, I don't want it.
I'm a slave for you. Is that the song?
I think it is. Because it's that boom, 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 boom. You know what I'm talking? You know the tune?
I can't believe I just asked that question. I'm gonna get my gay card. Like, I'm gonna hear it about this.
I'm gonna need to see him in the bra and the shorts and with the python, please.
That's not gonna happen. I can tell you that. This is a family network, Gina.
Well, I think he'll do well. I'm excited to see. I might tune in then to see how he's doing. That picture really tooketh me back.
Going back to Zac Efron, have you seen the work that he got done?
Who hasn't? He looks crazy. He looks nuts. And it's actually so sad because Zac Efron, hands down, in my opinion, of our, like, my generation, is probably one of the hottest men to hit planet Earth. Just truly a very nice specimen of a man. Why the hell did he do that to his face?
I agree. He's definitely this way. He's like the Jonathan Taylor Thomas of our times. Like, he would definitely be the heartthrob on Tiger Beat magazine.
What is Tiger Beat?
So Tiger Beat was like this teen magazine from the 90s that talked about boys. It was definitely for teens and high school kids. I had a few girlfriends that were in it, but it was like middle school to early high school.
We're all screwed if someone like that is feeling self-conscious.
It's not good. It's not good.
I know. I'm like, you need to go get that all dissolved. I don't know if it's all filler. It looks it because it looks very. He looks bloated to me. It doesn't look like just like a face lift or Botox. It looks like just too much going on. So maybe just a little dissolver will bring back Zach. You know who else like low key kind of looks like they've had a lot of work done?
Who?
RFK. Is it just me? Or does that man look like he has been pumped full of shit?
Oh God, that man. I don't know. I mean, there are other things that I think about when I hear that name.
Yeah, I guess, okay. I probably shouldn't have made that joke because there are a lot of serious things going on with him that honestly we probably should unpack. I think we should talk about it. I feel like if there is a reason for our platform, it is to talk about stuff like this. It's a bit more serious, but I do think we should chat about it.
We're talking about the press conference, right? About autism? Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What are your thoughts?
I have a few. Did you listen to the whole thing?
I did. I watched all 30 minutes of the press conference because, okay, so I want to talk about that. It's really important, I think, for all sides, regardless of how you think, watch the whole thing. The media takes snippets, they want sound clips, and I think no matter what outlet you're on, they show different things. They're trying to make a statement. Now, there are some that are really good about statements that may appeal to both types of audience. I do think there's some middle of the road media outlets, so I think that's important. I think it's important to get the whole context. To your point, watch the entire thing to make a decision for yourself. So I did, and I have thoughts, but I want to hear like what you think.
Yeah. Well, so at first I saw the clip that everyone's like, the reason everyone is talking about this, the clip where he basically was just like, these people, and meaning these autistic children, will never hold a job, will never pay taxes, will never write a poem. Admittedly, when I first heard that, I actually sent it to Connor, and I was like, well, this just turned my entire, like, not that I was ever fully loving RFK, but I was just like, well, I hate him now. Like, and even Connor was like, did you listen to the entire thing? And I was like, no. So I did go back and listen. Now, with context, it is very clear to me that in that specific instance, he was talking about the very extreme, severe cases, like people that really cannot take care of themselves are, either wheelchair bound, whatever. In those, again, very extreme cases of autism, we are talking about a spectrum here. It's obvious that that's who he was talking about. But I thought it was all very interesting. I am curious about the data, though. Some of the data that he presented, just the staggering increase over such a short period of time, I think is a fair question to ask.
It is. Okay, so I asked the same question. I watched it. I do agree there's a little bit more context to what he said. A lot of those people with extreme issues, from what I also looked up, they have a lot of other things that go along with that make it really difficult and require a little bit more care. But he says things like, these people are not in homes. You can't find them. There's nowhere around. Why are they? I was like, what are you? There's literally TV shows about this. What are you talking about? Like, autistic people, they exist as adults. Like, that was very strange to me. Going back to what you're saying in terms of you want to see the data. In this press conference, he mentions this table in this table 3 and a very detailed report that comes out. It's on the CDC website. I went and I browsed the report a little bit, but I did look for this table. The things that he were referencing sometimes in terms of this table were not what this table showed. This table does show increases, but like one example, he said it's far more increases in males. It wasn't. It was like 3 to 7 points higher. He also said it was this major jump with people like in API and other different diverse groups, which, one, I'm glad that you're giving attention to that. Thank you. But that was not true. The standard deviation from the data across multiple races was not that big. I actually looked at the numbers. But yes, they are increasing, but the variables that he was talking about are not mentioned in that study. They're not year over year. He mentioned we need to make it more rapid. Yes, but that's all studies that happen. People in the medical industry, people that do publishing, you have to give time to really analyze this data. You can't jump to conclusions because the IRB, the International Review Board, which evaluates these studies and actually says, yes, this is good, can be published, it needs the attention that it needs so that it can be a reliable published source. That's the point of a publication. So I don't agree with that. You can't rush that shit. Don't do that. It's very common for them to take a long time because you have to compare different data points. I will say he also made these comments that we can't worry about this ideology, was his term, that it's not contributing to getting better at diagnosing, recognizing more people are being diagnosed, this, that, and the other. He did call it a disease. It's not a disease. It's not an infectious disease. You cannot be comparing to that. That has been proven. It is neurological, and you need to treat it as such. And that really bothered me. I think where he's going with this is he's trying to prove a point with this data, very specific data points to frame a narrative. Now, every politician does that on every side, but I think this one is even more dangerous because he has historically set the tone by saying it's related to vaccines. Vaccines, vaccine, vaccine. He has said it multiple times. He did not say that in this because I think he's starting to get a lot of backlash for that. But he started it talking about outside factors. Okay, yes, let's look at that. I am not, and I don't know anyone that's saying, let's stop looking into it. There has been years and years and years of research dedicated to studying autism and trying to figure out what's going on, learn more about it. I'm not saying don't research it. Let's research it. You want to look at outside environmental factors? Great. Let's rule it out. But to insinuate that that's exactly what it is without looking into it is dangerous and I think really harmful to the community. And that's what pissed me off. I don't think people deserve that. But if you look at things like the vaccines and stuff like that has been hella debunked. There have been studies all over the place for years with hundreds of thousands of participants that have found zero correlation between those two. They've looked at all kinds of vaccines, including MMR, which is the big one. People are saying that that's doing it. And now people aren't getting the measles vaccine, and we are having measles outbreaks all over this country, and people are literally dying from it. And then he's saying stuff like, oh, inject vitamin A, and people are getting very, very sick and hospitalized because it's not meant to be ingested. So I say all those things because it now makes it very difficult for someone like me to believe what you're saying because you have lied without support nonstop. I agree. It's not one thing causing it. It is several things that are increasing these numbers. But he gave no reasons or indications or counterpoints as to why it's not that ideology. Okay, then what is it? You don't want to say. You didn't say. So I don't trust you. And I just study it. Great. But I think you're going down a path of trying to insinuate stuff that's going to influence the public to make more harmful decisions to their children.
Yeah, yeah. I think it's all a very fair observation of the press conference. It's interesting because I think I've been living on Threads lately just because it's a really good way to get like a bunch of people's opinions on something. And obviously this is like all the rage on Threads. And I've specifically been trying to look for responses from moms. And I'm seeing a lot of things that are very, very down the middle. I have obviously the side that's like moms like obviously protecting their children, and they're like, my child's amazing. I wouldn't change them for anything. Like, I love the way that they are. I don't believe that is due to vaccines. I don't believe it's due to, and it's nothing but genetic, and my child is meant to be this way, and they are meant to live on this earth and be treated as a human being, which, yes, of course. And then you have the other side of Threads where moms are giving very specific, detailed recounts of my child was developing at the perfect rate, had XYZ vaccine, suddenly no more about 5 days later, and then a year later is diagnosed with autism. So I do think those recounts are very important, and I think it's okay for people to say, okay, but is it? Do we trust all the study and data points out there? I can't imagine if I was a mom, if my child had to go to kindergarten and get these vaccines done, and then my child was developing at a normal rate, and then suddenly a week or two after a vaccine wasn't, I would also be questioning these things and wondering if some of these data points are true. Now, I'm not a doctor. I am not going to sit here and I'm not going to make claims of I believe this or I believe that. I think it's a fair question to continue to ask. I'm not quite sure yet where I am on it, and I don't know that I like get to either. Like, I'm in a weird point of like, I don't have autism. I don't have a lot of people in my life with autism. I don't feel like I can have this like really strong opinion on it. Is that bad to say?
No, I think it's actually really admirable that you don't want to have a strong stance on it without being more informed. I think that's kind of a big issue in this country, is they're not actually being informed. Going back to what you said about these parents talking about those things on the side, first of all, I want to say I empathize. I can only imagine what it must feel like to have your child be diagnosed with something like this and the difficulties that come with that. I empathize with that. That's got to be hard for a lot of parents. But I question if they have also looked at the data from this. I asked Perplexity, which is a great AI tool similar to ChatGPT that focuses on looking actual like scientific research. That's what it's known for. And I asked Perplexity to give me some really big studies on this. It's not just one. It's not just two. It is quite a bit that have been done globally. So they're talking about the United States, but they're not looking at things globally. Now, United States is, I will say, the interesting data with that is quite a bit higher than other countries, but other countries are experiencing the same thing. So I think that that's one. I think looking at these studies and understanding what did they study. Now, I will admit I have not read the details of these studies, but what I have seen, there's quite a bit of them that have, there's one that has almost 600,000 participants. That's a very big Z-score to show that you have a very significant sample size to make very informed statistical decisions. But they're still talking like this is an infectious disease, and it's not. You want to talk about infectious diseases that you want to do prevention as care, or to try and find a solution for, or to treat people that we know we have solutions for. You've gotten rid of that in this whole Doge or defunding thing. If you really care about people and want to talk to that level, why did you get rid of things like HIV and AIDS? You have removed all information about that, especially how it relates to my community and communities that have darker melanin skin, which are more susceptible on an exponential rate to contract HIV and AIDS. And we have drugs like PrEP and things like that that have been proven to really reduce the rate of infection. And why are we moving things like that? Things that we actually can prove, that are issues that we can solve. It's frustrating, and I have a really hard time trusting them when they have, again, tacked and done things to my community that would keep us safe.
I think that's fair. I think it's super fair. I think, unfortunately, with all of these things, and again, I never want to speak out of my ass. I am not the most educated person on these things. I think when it comes to a lot of this, you got to follow the money. And I do think that's why
Bingo.
Yeah.
Follow the money.
Follow the money.
Everything is about money. Everything is about money. I don't care what anyone says. If there are issues in the world, follow the money. Our Nima always said that, oh, who's getting paid? Follow the money. That is always something. Follow it.
Yeah. And I do think that's why a couple of the parents had said who were expressing their experiences post-vaccination with their children. They worry that the data is skewed in regards to follow the money. I mean, these pharmaceutical companies profit significantly off of vaccines. That is not
100%.
Yeah. I mean, for example, COVID in 2021 profited, those pharmaceutical companies, I think all of them put together was like over $90 billion. So I think it's fair for moms to say, hey, is it possible that maybe some of this data is skewed because a lot of people are getting a lot of pennies put in their pocket because of it? I think that's fair to say, and I think it's fair to question.
I agree. I do think it's fair to question. I agree that there are pharmaceutical companies that are profiting from these things. There's a lot of conversation about cancer. Like, do we know more about cancer than what people are letting on? Because there is a lot of money, even more so over the years, with cancer research, cancer treatments. Like, just radiation alone is very expensive. Mm-hmm. Insurance a lot of times doesn't cover that. People are still charging arms and legs and whole body parts for that. So I think if we're going to take that argument, I think we need to look broader, because I agree vaccine companies profit off a lot of this, that profit off of insurance, that profit off of Medicaid and Medicare. Healthcare is a problem in this country for that exact reason. So with this talk about gutting Medicare and Medicaid and Social Security, and I don't want to argue about why they want to do it. I think that's a longer conversation and we could talk about that, but it is harmful. So follow the money, follow the dollar. Yeah. I totally understand. And I think if we're going to take that argument, we need to make it broader.
Yeah, no, I think that's super fair. RFK is very focused on our kids, and because we do have to make our kids healthier in order to skew health in the United States over the next 20 to 30 years. Absolutely. So I think it's a good focus. Now, you work with nonprofits that focus on health of kids. So am I the biggest fan of RFK? Am I the biggest fan? No. I'm not. But I do think he is heavily focused on the kids, which is why he is so heavily focused on the autism subject. I know a lot of people are kind of freaking out about this autism registry, but it's also not the first time that we've had a registry for conditions. It's not a HIPAA violation. It's public health. So So I know a lot of people are freaking out about that, but there's a lot of registries for a lot of various conditions. So this is not a new thing.
I agree. Let's figure out with the kids. You want to look at that? Fine. I'm on board with that, but I need you to look at a whole child and I need you to look at a family. I talk a lot about that in my public health work. I have 10 years of working within public health. I quite understand things like ACEs. I understand a lot of what's going on with underserved populations, mental health. That is something I'm very informed on. Am I an expert? No. But I do work with nonprofits. I work with state organizations. And we always talk about intersectionalities. There are intersectionalities. We need to look at the whole child, not just, vaccines or, just autism. What are the effects? You want to dive into outside toxins and things like that? Good. Let's talk about nutrition. Nutrition is a problem in this country, and I know that's something you and I have talked about as well, and you agree. We need to look at those things. There is a problem with processed foods, and there's a problem with preservatives in this country. Something I agree on with this administration. I think you should absolutely be doing that. Those things are not good for us. What's the link to cancer? What's the link to autism? What is the link to nutrition and having these really healthy foods and stuff? And using that as a catalyst for people to be better.
Yeah.
Great. Let's do it. I'm on board with that.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I think in that sense, I do think those initiatives are good. I do think he is focused on chemicals in general. And that goes back to food processing plants, big pharma. So I think that is why we are so focused on things like vaccines. RFK is focused on things like Ozempic, stuff like that. And I think that is why, because of those factors. But we'll see how this plays out. I can totally understand why people are freaked out. I can totally understand why people feel uneasy. I can totally understand why people feel distrusting. And I think all of those are fair. This is one of those things where I'm seeing a lot of different conversations, and I don't necessarily disagree with either side.
These are all valid points. I think in closing with this is you want to do these studies, great. Please look at the whole child. Share the data. I want to see supporting evidence. I'm tired of the words coming out of a lot of these people in this administration mouth with, this is the thing. Just trust me on that. No, I don't trust anybody. I don't trust somebody at the stop sign when I'm walking my dog. I need to see the supporting evidence. I need to see the backup. I will be non-biased about that, but show me and prove your point.
Yeah. That goes out to all politicians forever. Please give us all data. We're not just going to blindly trust you, no matter who you are. Boom.
Totally agree. I don't give a crap what side you're on. You need to provide supporting documents. What is the supporting evidence? That's my opinion.
That's our opinion.
Speaking of Ozempic, it's really interesting that you asked that. I have what's your opinion question that's actually for you that actually talks about Ozempic. So I'm going to go ahead and read this to you. You seem to change your opinion about Ozempic over the last year or so. You used to be super against it, and now I see you defending it. Can you explain why?
That's a great question. And honestly, call me out on it. And I talk about this a lot on my story. But when it became the craze and the secret and the reason why people were losing weight so quickly, absolutely. I was like, why are we doing this? Why are we not tackling the root cause of the problem? Now, over the last few years, I have experienced a lot of nuances and specificities in my life with my clients, with family members, with friends of family. I've read a lot of studies on it. And of course, in what I do, I'm a personal trainer. I have clients that ask me about it all the time. I have clients that are on it. Okay. So here's my stance now. Okay. I can't sit here and advocate for the health and advocate against the obesity epidemic that is raging our country and then say, but no, you can't use a tool that is provided for you. I can't do that. I can't want a healthier United States. I can't say, I want all of these chronic diseases to go away that are mostly caused by obesity and then say, but never mind, I don't want you to use a tool that could help you get there. I think that's hypocritical of me. And I think any coach that is sitting there saying absolutely not to any type of GLP-1 for every single person, I think is crap. Now, I think it's being very much misused. I think that there are a ton of candidates that are being prescribed and administered a GLP-1 that absolutely do not need it. but I have also seen it change people's lives. And I think people that have struggled with weight their entire lives, who are on the verge of heart disease and have high blood pressure and have acquired type 2 diabetes, if this has been an issue your entire life and this is what gets you over that hump to change your life, absolutely do it. Do it. But I do think that there are people out there for that extra 5 to 10 pounds. No, girl. No, absolutely not. That's my opinion. Yeah. It's person to person. I'm not going to sit here and give a blanket statement of yes to Ozempic or no to Ozempic. Like, I think GLP-1s can be life-changing. Yes. But yeah, what are your thoughts on it?
I agree with you 99%. I am not a doctor. I also think it's case by case. I am not someone that needs to make a decision about your health. I agree there are a lot of things in adults, older adults, I'm not talking 22-year-olds, that if that is what helps to finally get you healthier, fine. But I think it needs to be paired with behavioral health coaching. Mm-hmm. If that's just what you're doing and I'm like, I'm going to eat what I want, whatever, and I'll just continue using Ozempic, I think that is setting you up for not success. Because to be honest with you, this is still relatively new on the market. We don't know the very long-term effects of 10, 15, 20 years down the line and what it could do to your organs, just like, some other stuff out there. So I think for it to be your lifestyle, I think is dangerous, physically and mentally. One of the things I also agree on is there is an epidemic with childhood obesity in this country. Over 35% of children in this country, and the pandemic made it exponentially worse. There is over 35% of the children in this country are considered very obese. And we are hearing more reports of these kids using this for these A1Cs. I hate that. Children aren't the age.
I have not heard that.
Oh, honey, it is becoming a very big problem. People are talking about this and how it's becoming a thing because they're like, oh, it's working. My child can lose weight. Absolutely not. Children should not be on this stuff. We need to work on behavioral health and work on practicing with foods that are nutritious for you. The family needs to get involved with that. There needs to be some behavioral health changes. And we need to do better on our kids. Similar to what we're talking about with RFK. You want to help the kids? Fine. Let's do it. Let's look at the whole child. I'm not okay with it in terms of children.
I did not know. I hadn't heard one thing about I need everyone to know my stance does not apply to children. That is absolute shenanigans. That's crazy. What pediatrician is prescribing a child a GLP-1? Jail.
Similar with pharmaceutical companies. Follow the money.
Ooh, that just hit a nerve. That hit a nerve with me. That is so disheartening to hear. Yuck to that. That is fucking insane. No. To kids, hard no. I don't care. They have time. Kids have time. That is absolutely fucking not. No. And I don't even think I should have, but like, you have to follow this drug up with the lifestyle change. You will gain a huge percentage plus more of your weight back if you don't. You absolutely will. You will not learn to listen to your hunger cues. Also, I've seen a lot of people like, oh, I'm just going to be on a GLP-1 the rest of my life. No, boo. You shouldn't be on anything for the rest of your life. Absolutely not. If you are not following this up with behavioral change, you will gain the weight back. Period. My clients that are on a GLP-1, I work closely with their doctors. I literally have their doctors' phone numbers. I call their doctors. We talk. When we are easing them off of a GLP-1, we slowly reduce that dose while we are slowly increasing their food intake. So it's almost like a reverse diet out of the GLP-1, so which has proven to be very effective. But again, these clients are clients that have struggled with weight their entire lives. Okay, these are not clients that I am like, yes, let's just get you on that GLP-1, girl, to lose that little extra bit before your wedding. And most consults that I have of girls that are like, I am on a GLP-1, I say right off the bat, okay, how long have you been on it? What is your dosage? What is your doctor's plan to get you off of it? Because here's the thing. I can't give you macros that I think are going to work with the program that I give you while you are on a high dose of GLP-1 because you're not going to be able to eat that much food. So there's a lot of nuances that come with it. And yeah, if the behavioral change is not there along with the weaning off of the drug, like you will gain the weight back and more.
I think you make some great points. We have something that we very much agree on.
Yeah.
Same page.
Yes, and I ate a bug and then spit it up.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was fun.
You did.
I have to go wash my dog.
Well, thanks, everybody. Appreciate you tuning in today. Thank you for your time. I think this is a really great show. Check out the other episodes.
Don't forget to like, subscribe, find us on Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube, and don't forget to submit your I need your opinion submissions. Those are our favorite.
Truly. Thanks, everybody. We'll see you next time.
Bye, guys.